Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be going through setting up your Nitrado server, so stay tuned.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long.
If you want to host your own Ark server, then I recommend renting one from Nitrado. They're also the official server provider for Wildcard. Go to jaycartere.com/Nitrado to rent your own Ark server and help out the channel in the process. Yo, what's going on? I am Jay Cartere, and basically I've been asked to do a very in-depth version of my how to create a boosted server video. So that is what we're going to do right now. This may be split up into 3 parts, I believe. Then we are I don't know, some sound just happened, I don't know where that came from, but then we are going to do the boosted stats, like the boosted rates and stuff, the rates and editing, all that sort of stuff, and then we are going to do the breeding multiplier. So that's how it's going to work. Otherwise this would be like a really long video, and I want to break it up into pieces so people who want that specific section can go there. So as you can see, we have started off on this server. This is my test server. The server is currently stopped, but this is the page that you go to when you first rent your Ark server. And then what you want to do is you want to go to settings and you want to go to general. Now I will be doing a expert settings version of this video, because if you followed the rest of my videos and you've done a few more in-depth things, then you'll need the expert settings knowledge of how to do that now. So I will do that at a later date. Right about now we're going to cover the basics, then I'm going to do the expert settings. But here's a big hack for everyone who's using expert settings. Just click this show internal names on your normal settings, and everything that is here will be how it looks in expert settings. So really, even if you don't plan to use expert settings, you should be using this right about now to kind of familiarize yourself with how to use expert settings later, because you can just customize things a whole lot more, and I've got super easy, straightforward guides on how to do those things, so you can like watch the videos on my channel and basically get a server to do what you want, if there's settings that can do that, because some things you can't customize. But for the basis of this video, we're going to turn this off so that everyone watching this can kind of understand what's going on. So expert mode, you don't want to turn that on unless you plan to use expert mode, and we will be covering that in another video. So let's just go down to the base settings. Now here we have the server name. This is very important. If you don't name your server something that is easy to find, that communicates what's actually going on your server, then you won't be able to find it, and other people who may be interested in your server won't be able to find it. So make sure that you name your server something that basically is easy for you to find and easy for other people to understand what's going on. Personally, I would suggest giving your server some sort of name so you've got the branding behind it, and then, you know, saying what kind of rates are on the server and where the server is based. So for example, on my server, on the Cartere server, I think it's like Cartere cluster or something like that, but it's like Ragnarok, 50 times taming, 5 times XP or something like that, EU. So you know it's 50 times taming, you know it's EU, you know the map, and I think it also says 50 times 24/7. So you know that it's going to be up constantly. You know it's not one of those servers that are going to break down. So that's what you want to do there. Message of the day. This is the message that shows up on the top of the screen for everyone who comes and joins your server. On my server, I tell everyone who joins the server that they need to go to jaycartere.com/Ark apply to register to be on the server, because if you're not registered, you're not part of the community, then if you break a rule, you will just be banned, because I can't get in touch with you, I can't actually sort out situations between people, so I've got to just get rid of you, because if you're a bad apple, we've got to just get rid of you. So that's how that is. So if any strangers find the server and they haven't registered, then they know they have to register. They see that every time they come on the server. And this message of the day duration, basically specifies how many seconds the message of the day is displayed. So you can do it 20 seconds, you can do it 10, you can do it 60 seconds if you really want to be an annoying bastard, because then every time someone comes into the server, they have to look at that for a whole minute. Now, my one is set to 20 seconds because I think that's enough. Like, as soon as you come on, you can see what's going on, and I don't want to annoy the people who have already registered. Server password is your server password. If you do not put a server password here, then your server will be open and public for people to join. If you do put a server password here, then your server will be password protected. And I've got videos on how to find your server, or if they're password protected or if they're not password protected, so you can check that out if you've put a password on or if you haven't and you want to be able to find your server in the server list. But that is what that's about. Admin password, this is the password that you need to set in order to gain admin privileges. I also have a video on how to do that, but this will be the password that you actually be putting in when you try to get those admin privileges. So there'll be like a box at the top of your screen. You'll press the button start, and I think it's square, triangle, L1 and R1. The thing will come up and you'll put in this admin password. The language is the language for the server. Mine was always in English, so you can change the language, and I think this will change the different like the menus and stuff like that. I haven't actually tested around with this, so I don't actually know what will happen. And then the map name is the map that you want to play on. This is not just the map name, this is choosing the map that the server is actually on. So if you want to go to the island, Aberration, Ragnarok, dynamic generated map, which I highly suggest you don't do, you can basically choose the map you want to play on there. Restart countdown is the countdown that it gives your players before the server shuts down or if it restarts. So when the server is actually up and it's live, you can stop the server or restart the server anytime you want to. And there's also a daily restart that happens on your server at about, I don't know, I think I changed it to like 6 a.m. on my server. And basically this countdown will give people time to go back to their base and make sure that they're safe, and it will let them know the server's gonna restart. So restarting in 60 seconds and it will count down. So that's how that works. The gameplay log is basically a log of everything that happens in game. Right about now, I have the gameplay log on my Ragnarok server, but the gameplay log has been limited to people who are renting new servers, so you won't be able to use it in the depth that I use it. So I can actually see who's killed what, who's said what in main chat, all that sort of stuff. I can see a lot of stuff on my Ragnarok server, but if you're renting a newer server, you won't have that yet. And I'm hoping that they give that option back to us and give you more customization over that, so you can see what is going on in your server, so you don't have to be on it or rely on people's second-hand testimonials, basically. So that is the gameplay log right about now. It doesn't really matter, although I'd say just enable it, because then you can see who's logged into your server, and that's basically the only information that shows you right about now, who's logged in and who's logged out. Hopefully in future it will show you who's talked in chat and who is doing admin commands, who is doing killing people, like who died and that sort of stuff. It can be very interesting because you can look through and it kind of tells a story, like this guy, he died to this fucking spider on the beach or something, and then he got killed by this guy, but now he's murdered this person. It's very, very interesting. The Spectator Password is the password that you can have for spectator mode, so it's kind of like the admin password, but it allows people who aren't admins to be able to get into spectator mode without the actual admin password. So that's the way that works. So spectator password basically lets you guys, I might put that at the end of the video actually. Spectator password lets you guys, lets people who haven't got admin privileges become a spectator on your server. Do not do this if you have a PvP server, because this will enable people to basically just look around the server and look at people's bases and get in their base and look at all that sort of stuff, and it really gives people an unfair advantage. So I'd only say give this to someone if you want them to look for something, or they're not actually a PvP player on the server. You might give this to a mod or something so that they can see what's going on, if you don't want to give them admin commands. So that's that. Primitive Plus enables the Primitive Plus mode. So that's straightforward. Start with backup. Now, this is how you can retrieve your game backups. So the game, basically your server backs up periodically, and you can go to a recent backup if there's any saves there, and then you can restart the server going back from that specific point. So it's like a rollback on official servers or something like that. You can also wipe the server from here by starting with a new saved game, or if you just start with the current saved game, then it will just start your server as normal with the current save. Then dynamic maps is for the procedural generated maps, which you should not use. Now, I do not know much about this, but you can set a name and then you can use the terrain properties, and I believe you can get these from like the internet or whatnot. So you can get like terrain properties that someone else has used and create a same type of map, I assume. Or you can go into the dynamic map editor, but again, please do not use this. It's very, very buggy apparently, and it's not stable, so I don't suggest it. So we're gonna move swiftly past that. Enable admin log. Admin logs don't work on PS4. You can't use it. It's only available for PC servers. So, you know, that's that. You can enable it if you have a PC server, like it's playable on PC, not a PC hosted PS4 server. So for PS4 servers, you won't want to care about this. Activate admin tribe logs. I am actually not 100% sure what this means. I'm unsure if this is just the normal tribe log or not, but I'd say activate it. Why not? Activate it. These are the restrictions on Survivor downloads and Survivor uploads. So I would highly suggest preventing Survivor downloads and well, not just Survivor downloads. It's like downloads and uploads from Obelisk, all downloads. So like Dino downloads, item downloads, all that sort of stuff. And here you can stop that sort of shit from happening. I don't think you can actually stop the uploads right here, but you can stop the downloads and you can prevent a Survivor upload. Now, the thing is, the reason why you want to prevent item downloads, Dino downloads, and Survivor downloads if you don't have a clustered server is because if you do not prevent these like Survivor, item, and Dino downloads, people will be able to download these things from single player, and that will fuck up your server. If you want it to be balanced in any way, if it's a PvP server, you do not want to allow that, because people will cheat. Even if you've got like 5 of the most holier than thou people on your server, I bet you give it 3 months, one of them is going to be, you know, slowly taking in stuff from their single player thing and cheating while no one's looking. Trust me, do not give people the option. Get rid of that ASAP. Survivor uploads, you know, you can basically understand what this sort of stuff does, and you can disable Dino taming if that's what you want to do. Now, gameplay. Flying inside of caves, you know, allows flying inside of caves. Enable third person mode. Allows you, well, I think this allows you to use third person mode. Yeah, there is a way to force people to only be in third person. I wouldn't be the way that I want to play, but I don't think that is in this place here. So enable third person mode, enable crosshair, enable hardcore. Hardcore is, you know, when you die, your character goes back to level 1, you lose everything, and you know your character is it's very, very hardcore, innit? So if you want hardcore mode, then maybe activate that. Enable status notifications. This, I think, will show people when people join and when people leave. Although these are those messages, I mean, these are those same things as well. Enable join notifications, enable join message, enable leave message. I don't know what the join message is. displays message when someone joins the server, because if you enable join notifications, then it will let you know who joined the server. So I don't know what the message is here. That's really weird. I have no idea what that is. Enable leave message. I think that's just a leave notification to say that that person's left. And I think enable join message would be the same thing. So, you know, if you guys know join notification, like what's the difference between these, please let me know in the comment section below, because I've never kind of messed with these, but I doubt you guys will need to either. So local chat only. This basically limits the text chat to people who are in the immediate area, so you won't be able to just talk across the map. Now, I wouldn't suggest this, but you could do that if you want. Disable floating names. This means when you aim over people, when you're looking at someone, you won't see their name. Show players on the map. This, I was a little confused at first when I started my server. I didn't know what this meant. I thought maybe this shows you all the players on the map. Maybe you open up your map and you can see where everyone is, and that'll be really, really bad for PvP. But no, this shows you where you are on the in-game map. And I like this option. I like this option a lot because it enables you to easily meet up with people and know where you are and get back to your base and all that sort of stuff without investing in a GPS, although a GPS is better and more accurate. So that's a good option if you want to make things a little bit more convenient. Enable Glose global voice chat. As it says, it sets the voice chat to global. Everyone will be able to hear each other. I wouldn't do that because then this guy who's, you know, across the map grinding metal is now just in his mic just groaning like oh my god, and now everyone can hear it. You don't want that. That's pretty crappy. So that's that. Difficulty offset. This will basically, I think, is this the one you need to override? Give me a sec. So with the difficulty offset, what you want to do is you want to set this to 1. Like when you start your server, a lot of the times you'll have like level 12 dinos and the highest level may be like level 90 or something. You want to set this to 1 ASAP, and then with the override official difficulty, this will allow you to, you know, set your difficulty higher than, you know, the official server's difficulty. So if you set that to 1 and you set this to 1, then you should get level 150 dinos as your max dinos on your server. But if you want to scale it to a different, like you want it to scale it up and have higher level dinos, then you want to make it higher than that. Now I personally have 12 on my server and that gives me level 360 dinos. If you want to, you know, find out how to do that, I've got a video on that. Also the beacon app is very good. I've got a video on how to add tech to your loot drops, and that goes into, you know, how to use the beacon app and that sort of stuff, and I'll show you how you can estimate where the difficulty is going to land, so if like what levels you're going to get from those dinos. So maximum structure count allowed nearby, I've always left this the same. This sets the maximum structure count in the player's build radius range. If you set it any higher, then it can lead to performance issues, more lag. I've just left it the same as official servers. Day cycle speed scale. This defines the speed of a whole day. If you want to make one day longer, then you can turn this up and that will make it actually no, that will make it faster, I believe. You've got to actually turn it down to make it longer. So if you want the speed of a whole day, you can do it like 0.5, then it'll take twice as long to finish the day, I believe. Nighttime scale is done in the same way. If you want it longer, you put it lower. If you want it to be quicker, you put it higher. So nighttime scale on this server is 4, that makes it quicker, and daytime scale is 0.2, so that makes it longer. So this actually lets you change the amount of time that you get at nighttime and the amount of time that you get at daytime. So if you want more daytime, then you scale that down. If you want more nighttime, you scale that down. If you want less, then you scale it up. So prevent disproportional harvests. This enables the prevention of disproportionate harvest. The higher the tool quality is, the more harvest can be obtained. By activating this option, the disproportion will be disabled. So this will basically stop you from being able to use higher quality items to get more resources when you're harvesting. This will just turn that off. So if you want to turn that off and you want everyone to be using like base metal picks or something, then do that. But I wouldn't recommend it, because I think the blueprint hunt is very important in Ark. So destroy all swamp and snow structures. Basically, you can use this to destroy all swamp and snow structures, like all the swamp and snow things, like everything that's been built in the swamp and the snow, I believe. That's basically what I meant to say. So destroy all wild creatures. Honestly, you should enable this on your server. I need to enable this on my server so that every time it restarts, it just destroys all wild creatures. Because if you don't, then it can lead to more lag and that sort of stuff. And also, it helps when there's a new DLC or something and new creatures come out. You need to destroy all the creatures so that new ones can spawn. So you definitely want to look into doing that. Now, all item containers lockable. This makes it possible to lock and pin lock all item containers, and this is very, very important. Now, when you enable this on your server, it actually locks everything by default, which is very strange. Like, I wanted the option to be able to lock things but not have it locked by default, so that people have to actually lock things. But I'd rather have it locked by default and be able to lock things than have everything just open. So you definitely want to enable this if you want people to be able to lock stuff. Damage dinos by spike walls. If you set this, if you click this check box, then when dinos walk into spike walls, they will be damaged. If you do not check this, then dinos will be able to just walk through, well, not walk through spikes, but spikes won't hurt them. And this is damage to wild dinos and dinos without a rider on, so that's very specific. Disable loot crates. If you don't want any loot crates, this will get rid of it. Show floating damage text. This will show that green and red text that comes up that shows you how much damage is being done. I love this because I like to know how much damage I'm doing, how much damage that person is doing. And sometimes if you're like a little bit around the corner and you see, oh my god, there's red damage coming out of nowhere, that some shit's going down and you can go check up on it. So I like that. Disable imprint Dino buff. This will get rid of the imprint in player stat bonus, which basically happens when you imprint a dino. I would get rid of this and not actually tick that, because otherwise there's no incentive to imprint dinos because you don't actually get any buffs from it. So allow anyone baby raising cuddle. This allows anyone to imprint the first person who imprints it is the person who's imprinted it, but the process of imprinting it, every time you need to cuddle, take care of it, feed it something, take it on a walk or something, if you actually check this box, then anyone in your tribe can actually do that sort of stuff. Although I'm not sure if it's limited to tribe, because it just says anyone can be able to do it, and that's a bit wild. But if someone wants to break into your base and take your dino for a walk and then bring it back, like that's a good chap. I'm not going to stop him from doing that. Override structure platform prevention. This option allows auto turrets on other platforms other than rafts and non-moving bases. So this means if you tick this, you can now put auto turrets on Quetzes. You can put auto turrets on, anything with a platform saddle, on Brontos and that sort of stuff, which is, oh my god, it is wild. You don't want to do that unless you just want some crazy shit happening on your server, because it is so overpowered. If you have like a Bronto, a high health Bronto with like, I don't know, let's say you just got 20 turrets, yeah? That's not a lot of turrets. But if you got 20 turrets on it, yeah? And you pull up to someone's base and you tank all their turrets and then they got no bullets or no turrets and they try and come out, like they're just gonna get murdered. They don't have a chance. It's so easy to just camp out someone's base with this sort of stuff. So I wouldn't suggest enabling that, but that's another strategy that can be on your server if you like it. Enable extra structure prevention volumes. This stops people building in specific resource-rich areas. In particular, set up on the island around the major mountains. So like the mountains with loads of metal on, and maybe the volcano and obelisks and things like that. I personally don't have this on my server because I want people to be able to build in places which are, which are high in resources, so that they make the mistake and people raid them for it. Like, they gotta learn that they can't do that. So yeah, and also I don't know where this actually limits building. So you might just be a little bit outside of the resource range, but it might say, okay, no, you need to get way further away. So I didn't want to have that on my server. So non-permanent diseases, this will make diseases not permanent, so you'll lose them when you respawn. Prevent diseases, this will get rid of diseases like swamp fever, and I don't think they have any other diseases right about now, but that will just get rid of them. Allow raid dino feeding. This will allow you to get a titanosaur and feed it so you can permanently tame it. Allow hit markers is the red thing that comes on your screen, the red cross that comes on your screen when you shoot something to let you know that you've hit it. No fish loot disables loot from fish. Like, the only thing you can get from it is meat, so I think this will disable the loot from using a fishing rod and stuff like that. Fast decay unsnapped core structures will decompose structures that are not linked to another structure. So if you've got like pillars that have no walls on them or anything else, they're just pillars or something, or you've got a chair or something out somewhere, and you've got a pipe that's not connected. We'll talk about pipes, but you've got these sorts of things that aren't connected. It will auto demolish those 5 times faster than normal. So tribe log destroyed enemy structures. I love this. I love this option. This lets you see in your tribe log, it lets you see who's actually destroyed structures on your, who's actually destroyed your structures. So on official, if someone raids you, you only know who raided you if they kill a dino, or if they die by your turret, or if they kill a player. Now with this, as soon as someone blows a structure, you know that that person has raided you. And the reason why I enabled this on my server is because it encourages much more PvP, and it lowers the chance that people can be sneaky and raid someone and get away with it, and then someone comes on, they're like, oh, someone has raided my whole base, I wish I knew who they were. Instead, they know exactly who they are, and they can work towards revenge, which is pretty nice. Force flyer explosives. This makes all flyers except for Quetz and Wyvern become grounded if you put a C4 in them, so you can't put C4 on Pteranodons and stuff like that, and if you do put a C4 in them, they will land and they won't be able to fly. So that's what that enables. Destroy unconnected water pipes. This will auto destroy unconnected water pipes in 2 days real time if no allied player is nearby, and if it's not connected to if unconnected to any non-pipe. So if it's not connected to somewhere where it will either give out water or intake water, all that sort of stuff, connected to a wall or something like that. So allow crate spawns on top of structures. Servers can now from the air supply crates to allow from the air supply crates to appear on top of structures rather than being prevented by structures. So basically what this means is if someone has built a structure and it's where a supply crate would land, you can enable this and the crate will land on top of the structure and you'll be able to access it. Auto destroy structures is very important. I've made a video on that goes more in depth, but this will basically auto destroy structures as it says. So after a certain amount of time, if someone has not been in that base or gone back to that base at all, or gone to that structure, so you gotta go to all your structures, keep this in mind, or someone in a tribe or allied player has to. If you haven't done that, then the structure will be destroyed. So this can help keep your server clean, so you don't just have loads of structures that no one's using. Auto destroy decayed dinos will destroy dinos that are dying or dead and destroy their bodies and that sort of stuff. Maximum amount of Dino Tames, this limits the amount of Dino Tames per person, so you can set this to 250. You can set it to, I think the limit is 5,000 or something like that. Allow stamina recovery while flying. This is basically for quetzes. So with the quetz, if you press triangle, you can land on top of it if you've got a platform. And if it's flying and you enable this, you can get your stamina back up. If you don't have this enabled, then you'll have to land. So that's that. Allow multiple C4 charges per dino. This allows you to put multiple C4 charges on a dino. So you can put like 10 charges on a turtle, tell him to go into attack a base and then blow it all up. Basically, that can be what you're trying to do. And if you don't allow that, then you'll only be able to put one at a time. You have to use more dinos. Allow platform saddle multi-floors. This allows you to build a platform and then build something on it, like with one floor, and then build another floor. So that is basically what this allows. If you don't do that, then you can't do that. If you don't allow this. Unlimited respecs. This allows people to use mind wipes in order to put more points into their character or to change their points around. If you don't have unlimited respecs, then you can only do this once, I believe, and you won't be able to mind wipe again. If you do have unlimited respecs, then as far as I know, I'm unsure if they changed it and they updated it, you can use a mind wipe once per level. So be very, very cautious about this. You can test it out and see if you can use it twice per level. They may have improved that by now, but last time I checked, you could only do it once per level. So you can do a mind wipe on level, 1, or why would you do it on level 1? But you can do it on like level 100, they may be level 150, level 151, but as soon as you do it on that level, you can't do it again. So you got to keep that in mind. So if you wanted to mind wipe in order to do a lot of crafting stuff, then I'd say do that just before you level up, and then do all that stuff, and then when you level up, you'll be able to mind wipe again. So that's how you do that. But really, you should, I think making a crafting character is probably the best strategy there. Prevent spawn animation. This basically stops the spawn animation that you get every time you log in. You get like that hand thing and then you get up. Like this just stops that, so people get in the game quicker. And I think it reduces, a little bit of lag and that sort of stuff. I'm not 100% sure. Corpse locator. This will actually show you a big green beam that comes out of your corpse when you die. So if you die, you lose your shit, you'll be able to see this big green beam when you get back into the general area, and you'll be able to find your stuff. I think this is just helpful and nice, because who wants to be searching around 30 minutes for their body? Like, that's not convenient gameplay. Disable structure placement collision. This will actually enable you to build and ignore structure collision. So you can build kind of through a wall or kind of through a floor and that sort of stuff, and you can put your your industrial forge, and that can go through the roof basically, or through the walls and all that. You can be like halfway in and the walls around it. Like, you can do that sort of stuff with this. But people might do things that make their base unraidable because they can clip into the terrain, so keep that in mind. Use single player settings. When enabled, this edits all game settings to be more balanced for individual player experience. So if you've got less tribes on your server, then you may want to do this. I think it kind of gives everything a boost. Constant fast decay period. Enable this option for a fixed constant decay period for fast decay structures. I don't have a clue what that means, to be honest. So I'm just assuming this is like for thatch and stuff and things that decay fast. I just left that to do what it does. Optimize the harvest amount multiplier. This optimizes the server performance, but this decreases the chances of getting rare items. Of course, I haven't enabled that. Will clamp all spoiling times to the item's maximum spoiling times. So it seems that this... Oh shit. No. Oh my god. I just realized that for like the majority of this video, my mic was like over there. I'm so sorry. I'm hoping this video doesn't sound too bad. Give me a sec. Let me stop the video and go back and see what's up. Oh, that is so fucked up. All right, so the video doesn't sound great. Video doesn't sound great at all. Now it's gonna sound much better, but hopefully I can finagle it with some audio manipulation skills and kind of turn it up so that it's all together. But sorry about that. Just totally, I was recording a different video before and I just totally forgot to put the mic back where it needed to be. So the clamp spoiling times, I think this is to use if someone's used an infinite spoiling exploit or something like that, so you don't really need to think about that. Enable idle player kick. This will kick players that haven't moved or done anything or interacted on the server, so after a specific amount of time they'll just get kicked from the server to open up places for new people. So if you've got like a really popular server, then you might wanna put this on so people don't just sit there. No anti-speed hack. This turns off the anti-speed detection. I don't know what that is, but I think it's some sort of hack. I'd say enable it, because I mean, don't enable this thing. Just let the speed hack thing be on, because you don't want people hacking your thing. You don't want people hacking your server unless you do. No biome walls. This eliminates the upcoming biome change area walls effect as introduced in an unversioned edition of. I have no idea what this is, to be honest. I just leave things how they are. These sort of things. These are like just like mainline basic, the base of your server. I wouldn't change that unless you really want to. Notify admin commands in chat. This will show everyone in chat every time someone does an admin command. So if you want to be very transparent with your admin commands and stuff, then you could do that. But if you do a lot of admin commands, then this might be annoying for the chat to see every time you do an admin command. Minimum Dino re-upload interval. This is basically the timer between uploads of your dinos to the obelisk. So on official servers, it is set to 43,200, which is 12 hours. So you have to wait 12 hours. If you upload a dino, I think you have to wait 12 hours to upload another one. I'm unsure if you can. I think you can probably download the dino immediately, but you'll have to wait 12 hours to upload it again. So that's how that works. Only auto destroy core structures. This option prevents destroying structures that aren't core structures, so like not foundations, not pillars, I think is a core structure. I'm not 100% sure. That sort of stuff. So things that aren't connected to that won't destroy. I don't know why you'd want this, to be honest. Like, I've never used this, like only auto destroy core structures. That seems very weird, but you know, that's what it does. Forced respawn of wild dinos at server restart. This forces weekly respawns of dinos on the server to prevent certain dino types like the Bacillo and Spinal from becoming depopulated on long-running servers. Keep in mind, this will not always work. So this is basically the same thing as like if you just had the command before to do destroy all wild dinos. It will do kind of the same thing, but this will do it at certain intervals on the server. I need to look into doing that or enabling the other one. So only decay unsnapped core structures. This will only decay pillars and foundations and that sort of stuff. So if you only want that to auto decay, then you can enable that. So tribute expiration seconds. This sets the expiration timer for uploaded items. All this sort of stuff you can basically just read and understand what's going on. Max players in tribe. This will actually limit the players allowed in a tribe. I currently got on 8 on my server. Limit turrets in range. This is the new turret nerf that happened on official servers. So if you want the turret nerf to be on your server, then go ahead, apply that and click that checkbox. If you don't want it, then turn that off. And this is the limited turret range. This is the radius. 10,000 is roughly equivalent to 33 foundations, and this is the amount of turrets that can be in that radius, and this is like the official server settings. So will we do PvE? Let's quickly do PvE, and then in the next video we'll do multipliers, and then the next video we will do breeding. So if you want to enable PvE, you just click this. This disables PvE and enables PvE. Disables PvP and enables PvE. I don't know if I said that right. So this means you can't kill other players, obviously. And you can prevent offline PvP if you want to. You can put on offline raiding protection. This stops people from being able to raid people when the other person's offline or where that tribe's offline. And it also prevents tribe alliances. So keep that in mind. And this is the interval for when the offline protection kicks in. So when the person logs off, it doesn't automatically kick in unless you put this on 0, but then people can really exploit that by just logging off when someone's raiding them. So this will give you a bit of a cooldown time. I'm not 100% sure if this is in seconds, although I believe it probably is, because it usually is with all these settings. They have been in seconds, so I assume this is 800 seconds, and all members must be off to enable offline PvP. Change gamma in PvP. This allows people to, you know, use the options menu to turn up their gamma. PvP structured decay activates structured decay on PvP servers. PvP Dino decay activates Dino decay on PvP servers. Friendly fire disables friendly fire if you want to turn that off, which makes things a little too easy. Allow cave building in PvE. Allows people to build in caves in PvE. And generally the reason why you won't allow that is because if someone's built in a cave in PvE, you can't really get rid of them. You can't blow up their structures and move their base and get to the artifact or the reason why you're going to that cave. So that's why you may not enable that in PvE, or you could just set rules on your server and tell people they can't build in certain places. But in PvP, obviously, if someone builds in a cave, then you can just destroy their base if you don't want them building there. So that's that. Allow flyer carry PvE, allows people to pick people while in PvP. Disable PvE gamma, prevents the gamma changes I talked about earlier in PvE. PvE allows structures at supply drops, allows people building near supply drop points in PvE. Pve Timer enables the Pve Timer. Okay, this Pve Timer stuff, I'm not 100% sure how to use it, because I don't really have a PvE server and I've never really looked into it. If you guys have any information on this, leave a comment down below, please, because I've just been trying to figure it out and it's a little bit confusing to even me, so I'm not really 100% sure on there, but I don't really think you need this. If you want to have a PvE server that's PvP on weekends, you can just turn off PvE on the weekends. Like, it's not that hard. This is a bit wild because it says it needs to be unchecked for PvP to function. So why would you need a PvP timer if it doesn't actually enable any PvP at any point? Then it's just PvE all the time. Like, what is the timer for if PvP can't function without this being unchecked? It's a catch-22, so I don't understand what this is for. But if we go down, we can go to PvE allow tribe war. This allows people to basically say in PvP, yo, I want to have a war with you. Other person says, you know what, that is great, I want to have a war with you too. They go together, they press triangle, they say, you know what, invite to war or something, let's do a war, declare war, and they accept it and like, yes, let's go to war, let's have a bit of PvP fun. That's basically what that is for. And you can do it for a mutually agreed on period of time. It doesn't have to be forever. And PvE allow tribe war cancel, allows the cancellation of a agreed upon war before it starts. So if you like agree to it and then you're like, oh shit, no, I really don't want to do this, then if you actually enable that, then you can just cancel it at any time. So that is that video. That was pretty long, I believe. I don't even know how long it took me to record this, but I know it's going to take some editing because of that whole, you know, bad audio at the beginning. Very, very sorry for that. I highly want to apologize for that. Hopefully I can fix that and make it sound good enough, but I know that, you know, this audio quality will sound better because I'm talking into the mic. And the next videos I will actually be talking into the mic as well. So thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, any other tutorials that you want me to make, please leave those in the description down below. And I'm going to continue making the multiplier, and then, you know, the baby raising and breeding and stuff. And I think that's pretty much all we have to do. Multiplier, and then, you know, babies. We'll just do multipliers and breeding in the same video. Why not? We're gonna just do that next right now and get that done. And yeah, so thanks for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Do you want to get more players and more exposure on your server? If your answer is yes, then go to arkps4servers.com right now. arkps4servers.com is going to be my Ark server listing site where you can upload your server info and people can come and view through a list of servers and pick whichever one they want to play on. So enter your email address and you will get an email when the site officially launches, and you can be one of the first people to have your server listed on the site. If you're watching this in the future, the site may already be up and you can submit your server information to be added to the list for free. You can also get a promoted spot on the website so you can get even more traffic and players for a monthly fee. Go to arkps4servers.com now and start to build your community.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.